Guys, welcome to the new boot drop covering October 2nd through October 8th, 2023. So this is a new style of video that I'm giving it a shot. We're gonna give this a try on the BootSpy YouTube channel for the rest of boot season. That's October, November, December. We're at least gonna try this every week. And I wanted to do something that was a little more informal than my normal BootSpy YouTube videos and do something I can get out more early in the week and just kind of talk about the new boots that are being released every single week, because there's lots of cool stuff coming out right now from a ton of my favorite brands. So I wanted to just highlight those things. I thought this would be a cool informal way. So yeah, this is a new format. Probably won't be doing it every week for the whole year, but at least in Q4 in the boot season, when it's getting cold, when it's getting rainy, when people start putting on their boots, I wanted to do this. So if you enjoy this, let me know in the comments, say like, we want more of this. And yeah, hopefully this is just something we do regularly. So to start off, a couple of cool releases from Thursday Boot Company. So they just launched 2 new Storm King editions and one that's really exciting to me. It's called Coyote, but it's basically their first waxed rough out. And Thursday, they just announced like a month ago that they're now creating all their boots in their own factory. They're calling the factory Everest. So now they're like a made to order brand. For the first time in 10 years, they open their own factory in Leon, Mexico. And that actually allows them to do limited supply leathers or test out new leathers that may or might work, might not work. They don't have to do these huge minimum order quantities. They can just like get some leather, test it out, see how it goes. So one thing they're doing is this waxed rough out leather, and they're calling it Coyote. It looks really cool. There's another version, but that's kind of, it seems like a standard like Thursday Captain Storm King. It's nothing too special. I mean, it's a cool looking color, but nothing like the Coyote leather, this waxed rough out. So I'm really excited to see how that's gonna age. And I'm also excited just the direction of Thursday, what they're doing. And I think they're kind of playing more towards the heritage crowd, and they're coming out with some really cool new things. Again, because they have their own factory now. We also have a new pair of boots from JK Boots. They just released, actually it's a bunch of new boots, but they released their whole collection in black bison leather. So JK, they really recently, I think last year, started doing bison. That kind of blew up for them. And now there's tons of brands doing bison. JK, they just released their black bison collection. So that's their Super Duty, their OT, their 300, I think their Forefront, maybe some others. I might be missing a couple there. But basically bison leather, it's thicker, it has a coarser grain. With JK, they built a backstock, about 200 to 300 pairs of these boots. So if you've been thinking about getting a PNW boot, a lot of times those have like a 6-month or 8-month wait time. But with JK, right now you can get these and just get them shipped out like within the same week. And then of course, JK being a custom boot maker as well, you can order like rough out bottoms or smooth tops. You can kind of customize with that black bison leather and get any type of boot you want. You'd be subject to standard wait times if you customize. But yeah, so that's a cool new release. Really like JK boots, especially their work boots, and having another bison leather option is really cool, especially in black. It's such a versatile color. Grant Stone, one of my favorite boot brands, they just released their latest model is the Field Boot. They've had that for a little while, but they just released that in black Chrome Excel leather. And this is just like a really classic fall weather boot because it's a wedge sole moccasin style construction. It's not even just a mock toe, it's almost like a moccasin boot. And then the black Chrome Excel leather, that's just like a really solid option all for fall and winter. So I'm sure, I don't have any experience with the Field Boot myself, just the diesel and the Chelsea and then the brass, which is a mock toe. But if the Field Boot is anything like those ones, I definitely trust Grant Stone. I think they're making amazing boots. So if it's anything like those, I'm sure the Field Boot is phenomenal. Next up is NYX Handmade Boots. They just came out with a limited release made to order Chrome Pack leather in olive. So Chrome Pack compared to Chrome Excel, that's another, you might be familiar with Chrome Excel leather I was just talking about with the Grant Stone. Chrome Pack leather, it's also from Horween Tannery. It's similar to Chrome Excel, except for it's not combination. Chrome Excel is combination tan. It means use vegetable tanning agents and then like chrome salt tanning agents as well. Chrome Pack is all chrome tanned, and it's also hot stuffed with oils and grease. So basically what that all kind of means, the end result, is that it is super, super rich in the pull-up effect, even more so than Chrome Excel. And that basically means it's terrible for a dress boot because it gets really, the color is variant. It's very dynamic. So for a work boot or like a casual rugged boot, it looks really cool over time. So this is a great candidate for if you like developing a patina. Then the Sage Chrome Pack leather is a really good option. So it's very unique leather. It's very rare leather. Not many boots out there. Now this is made to order from NYX. So you have to kind of know like, all right, what last do I want? What size do I want? What the details. So you gotta build your own boot. And then of course that's subject to NYX's, their wait time, which I don't know what it is right now, but you can expect at least 6 months, but probably more like 8 to 10 months for that one to come out. Next up is Viberg, and I feel like they're coming out with a new pair of boots or a couple different pairs of boots every single week because I've been doing this on BootSpy.com, this new boot drop for a couple weeks now, and Viberg's been in every single one of them. But Viberg just released their service boot in black French calf leather. And this looks really nice. This is a really nice looking boot. There's a little bit of broguing on the toe cap of the service boot. So this is definitely a dressier option, especially with black calf leather. This is just like a really super high quality leather. Now this is over $800 and it gets close to $900 with tax and everything like that. So this is definitely a pricey boot. But if you're looking for a service boot, like it's casual, but it's got more on the dressy side, this is a really good option. And the leather looks like delicious. Like I would eat that. From a lesser known brand, there is Unmarked Mexico. And these guys just came out with their monkey boot. It's called the Archie and they're releasing it in black bison leather. This is a really cool looking boot. So Doc Martens are our stupid boots, but these are like a cool version of that boot. So it's a monkey boot. It has a yellow stitch around the welt, which I'm a bit concerned that I think I heard a story about Doc Martens suing another company for having a yellow stitch. That's just, I guess they patented that, a yellow stitch around the sole. I don't know. But in any case, I support Unmarked. I think they are a way cooler company. And the Archie, it makes my feet look really small, but it still is a really cool boot. And I think the black bison version of the Archie, I actually kind of like it better than the version that I got. So I've only tried one pair of boots from Unmarked, but their construction is outstanding. I really like the company. And they always have a really unique look at how they make boots, and everything they put out is not a standard boot. I think whoever is designing those boots has a really interesting take. They have a really interesting design sensibility. So I like the company, and this Archie monkey boot in black bison, really cool new release. Taylor Stitch just launched a bunch of new cardigans. I am not a cardigan guy, although I am a Mr. Rogers fan. I will say that this is the closest thing to a cardigan that I would wear. I probably still would not wear these though, just not a cardigan guy. Taylor Stitch also teamed up with Danner Boots, and they just released a hiking boot. I think it's got Gore-Tex lining. It's also a lace to toe, like similar to the Archie monkey boot, but it has some camo canvas on the kind of the side panels. Now this boot is $470, which is really pretty expensive. And so unless you're looking for like a specific hiking boot, you know, this is based on the Danner Ridge boot, I think, which is a very good hiking boot. So this is just a version of that. However, I think the Taylor Stitch crowd is more like a style thing. So if you're looking for a boot for style, I don't know that this is the one I would get. So overall, there's some other boots that I would look at before this one, but it's there if that's something you're interested in. Danner, Taylor Stitch, good combo. And speaking of Danner, Huckberry also just released a boot with Danner this week. And I gotta be honest, the end result is, it's pretty heinous looking. So it kind of reminds me of those like golf dress shoes, like the Oxfords with a wedge sole that you can wear on a golf course. Like those are, everyone wears those. Like, I mean, like if you're 40 and a man, you probably are just wearing that shoe. I don't know why, but they're really common, but they're really ugly. And so is this new Danner Huckberry collab. That said, I will say, looks very comfortable, and that's nice. There's something to be said for that. Standard & Strange, they're one of my favorite shops for heritage menswear. They have Motive Manufacturing Company. They're pioneering the Chinese heritage style movement. So heritage style has been big in Japan for a really long time, but with there are some Chinese boot makers that are doing incredible work, and so that heritage style movement is also kind of building in China. And Motive Manufacturing Company, they're like one of the first ones to really be going in on it. They just released a new Valkyrie line, which is kind of based on vintage aviator style, and that is being carried at Standard & Strange. I'm a big time overshirt and jacket guy, so there's a couple pieces in here that were very interesting to me, so I figured it might catch your eye as well. Ironheart Denim, they have a 10-ounce Western shirt. It's one of their best sellers. I've been looking at it for like a year now, but those things are pricey. So it's kind of hard to like pull the trigger on, but they're doing kind of like a re-release or doing something new with theirs, where they're basically, they made the whole shirt and then they're dyeing it in another over dye of indigo. So the stitching is like kind of a light powder blue. And then of course the outer shell basically has an over dye on it. So this is a type of shirt if you were interested in it. So for this shirt, it's going to age really well in an interesting way, because it's not just the denim, like the fabric that's been dyed, the whole garment has been dyed as well after it was made. So that's gonna make a pretty dynamic, interesting look as it ages as well. So if you're into, you know, aging denim, fades, this is gonna be a really interesting shirt to get. So that's it for this week's boot drop. If you found this helpful or interesting at all, please let me know in the comments below. We're trying a new thing, a new format here, and something we can kind of get more boot content out there for you guys. So if this is something you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments. Right now, I'm working on a bigger video of the 3 different levels of men's heritage footwear. I'm also checking out Ariat's Benchmade collection, and I am submitting my boots for the Stitch Down Patina Thunderdome, which which is a Grant Stone diesel in natural Horween Chrome Excel. So I'm really excited about that. If you want to, you can keep up with that journey of how those are aging on Instagram. The handle is @BootSpyOfficial. And if you want to make sure you get every single new boot drop, then I have a link. It's the very first one in the description. It's for our Heritage newsletter email sign up. So you go to that page. Basically, the Heritage newsletter is we round up the best content from around the web on Heritage menswear. That includes BootSpy, but some other amazing publications, like Stitch Down is one, for example. And we also curate some style inspiration from the best creators on Instagram. And basically, like if you're into Heritage menswear, then you want to be on this email list because it's basically just rounding up the coolest articles and showcasing some of the best styles. I'm also snagging discounts on the best boot brands and clothing brands. So it's kind of just like a whole, like if you want to stay up to date on what's going on, then you want to be on the Heritage email newsletter, and a new one of those goes out every single Thursday night. So I'll see you next week. Until then, put your best boot forward.